pros. I mean, there's nobody here that's not, you know, frontline, hardcore battle. So I'm not going to give you guys the baby food stuff. I'm not going to give you the raw meat. I'm going to give you what I actually think. So what I actually think. We're at a crossroads moment where there are two things happening and not one. Two things that are happening and not one. On the one hand, on the right, they are politically ascendant and politically dominant, but culturally they're falling. Okay? They now have to give lip service to LGBTQ plus rights. They don't want to have to do that. They have to do that. They have to do that because culturally, our values of inclusion, culturally, our values that everybody counts and everybody matters are on the rise. So we're rising culturally, but we're falling politically. They're rising politically and falling culturally. So this is why you find this distress, because they know for sure if we are able to take our cultural ascendance, all the young people are with us. All the young people, they're like, what are you guys even talking about? You're worrying about race and where somebody was born and who somebody wants to sleep with? We don't care about that. All the young people are with us. The young people are so far past this nonsense it's embarrassing. But the young people, they know don't vote. Listen, you would expect, given the level of anti-immigrant hysteria that's being promoted and the pain in the black community, that you have a black community lining up to attack the immigrants, saying, get these people out of here, we want those jobs. You're not seeing that. The African American community, despite all our pain, despite all our suffering, is pro-immigrant and pro-immigrant rights. They understand it's a fight about racism, not about economics. But they expect in the midterm election, black folk ain't gonna vote. The Latino community, Catholic as it is and everything else, given a chance to vote, vote for folks who are pro-LGBTQ. You've got a coalition now. Women, young folks, people of color, that is more aligned with itself politically and culturally and a values point of view than you've ever seen in the country. And that scares the crap out of these people. We say we're the resistance. That's not true. They are the resistance. The right wing is the resistance. They are resisting us. They're resisting our forward momentum. Okay? We are rising culturally. Most of the stuff that we're talking about right now, in 20 years, people are going to be embarrassed we even have to debate about it. That's the most likely scenario. They're making a bet, though, that they can discourage us, that they can deflate us, they can disrespect us, they can get us so outraged and upset that we turn on each other and that we don't participate. So that they can compensate for their failure to win people over to their bigoted agenda, especially this young generation, their failure to divide people. Blacks and browns should be fighting every day. We're not. They've not been able to pull this thing off. They want to compensate for their failure culturally by grabbing the reins of power politically and imposing on the people. Imposing on the people views that are actually abhorrent to most of us. And in the next 30 days, we're going to see whether their bet was right or wrong. That's what's going to happen in the next 30 days. Were they right to sabotage a presidency? These so-called patriots who sabotaged the presidency of Barack Obama, who refused to do their constitutional duties and appoint Merrick Garland, who refused to vote. Barack Obama, President Obama, put bills on the table to cut taxes for small business. They voted against tax cuts for small business. They hurt their own base to stop Barack Obama. Barack Obama put bill after bill to help American veterans. They voted against their own veteran base to hurt Barack Obama. These so-called patriots betrayed the Constitution. They betrayed their own base, their own values. When Obama was in office, it was all about deficits, deficits, deficits. Now you got $1 trillion deficit and they don't say anything about it. These people have betrayed everything about them making one bet that they get away with it. they would get away with it, that we would be so distracted, so divided, so depressed, so deflated, that we wouldn't go out there and punish them in November. That's their bet. Now here's the problem. There are very few people with the skills, the determination, the camaraderie, the capacity to get out there and overcome all of this nonsense and get our folks to the polls to stand up for what's right. And a bunch of them are in this room. And you're tired, you're frustrated, you're disappointed in Democrats. Let's just be honest, man. We've been in this for a long time. And it's easy at this point to just kind of phone it in, show up, check the box, but honestly, zone out on Instagram and do some Netflix stuff and just hope it works out. There's a temptation to do that. It'd be very easy for me to be in California right now. I'm not even from Maryland. But I'm here because I know Ben Jealous. I've known Ben Jealous for 25 years. Who in here is under the age of 25? Who in here is under the age of 25? We got a couple, got a few.
Miller.
Oh, and Miller.
And mine.
10 months old. Your whole entire life, I've known Ben Jealous. And this guy, I can literally say this, it's not an exaggeration. I have never had a conversation with Ben Jealous in 25 years where the subject wasn't, how can we get more justice? How can we get more opportunity? I met the guy when they were throwing his ass out, throwing his behind out of Columbia University. I don't know if you guys know the story about him. He was already a legend when he was a college student because he was a student at Columbia University, and Columbia University bought near half of Harlem, and they were going to bulldoze the Audubon Ballroom, the sacred site where Malcolm X was gunned down. They're going to turn it into some, cafe or something. And Ben Jealous, top student now, Ben Jealous, already like a rock star, top student, super popular, decided he was going to lead the marches, lead the protests, lead the civil disobedience to get it stopped. He got arrested, a bunch of people got arrested. They threw Ben out. Everybody else got away with it. They said, this guy is too powerful, he's too popular, he's too strong, he's too determined. Get your butt off campus. They threw him off, and he was out for 2 years. So he was already a legend on the East Coast as this guy who paid the ultimate price to try to save the Audubon Ballroom. Here's the crazy thing about Ben, though. When they let Ben Jealous back in, the same administration that threw him out made him a Rhodes Scholar. I've never seen anybody get thrown out of a school that then comes back and gets made a Rhodes Scholar. Why? Because there's something about this guy. Something about this guy. That even people who oppose him eventually get brought around. Even people who say that they're against him, eventually he's able to win them over because he's got so much integrity, he's got so much heart, he's so daggum smart. You can't out-argue the guy. You can't out-love the guy. And eventually he brings people around. He's always been underestimated. They underestimated him when they took over the NAACP. Said he was too young. There's no way he's going to be able to lead this crazy organization. He turned it around and left them with the biggest surplus they ever had and got 1 million extra black people to vote in 2012 and voted in 2008. We thought 2008 was a high water mark. That was Barack Obama running for office. Ben said, I'll see you that and I'll give you 1 million extra votes, Mr. President, and delivered. They've always underestimated Ben Jealous. When it wasn't trendy to be for immigrant rights, wasn't trendy to be for marriage equality, wasn't trendy to be against the death penalty. He was a part of a movement, you guys were a part of it with him, and won on all three in 1 year when it wasn't popular. Always underestimated Ben Jealous. When he went to Silicon Valley, they said he was going to fail, and he picked some of the best companies. And then they said he was going to lose the primaries. They say he's down by 957 points. He's finished. 1 by 10. 1 by 10. Every successful movement has to have a tip to the spear. You see what I'm saying? You can have a lot of activity. You can have a lot of stuff going on. But when you're going up against a really, really bad enemy, you need something that can push through. The tip of the spear, the edge of the blade, the point of the fulcrum. I just have a sneaking suspicion that's Maryland. I have a sneaking suspicion that what you guys decide to do the next 30 days, and I mean you and you, individual people, you can never rely on just masses of people. It always comes down to that individual person who could have made 20 calls instead made 30. Who could have knocked on 7 doors instead knocked on 15. Could have knocked on 15 instead knocked on 30. It always comes down to those individual people who heroically go forward, way beyond what they're supposed to do. They can then put you in a position to do something that takes away an argument from our enemies. Our enemies say, if you pass all this stuff that these guys are talking about, you're going to have a bankrupt, failed socialist state. It's a lie. It's a lie that works because you can't point to anywhere on the map where you've done it. You can't point to anywhere in 50 states where you grab one of us and throw them into power and then let them govern. Ben's one of us. Grassroots through and through. Not no rich man's child. Grassroots just like us. We've never taken one of our own and thrown them into power and then delivered. The minute that happens, these guys are done. They're done. Done. Because all they have is lies and division. You win based on unity and deliver in this state, it's over. On the other hand, if you let some worthless, sorry, okey doke, moderate,
so-called
faker beat you here, that's tough. We'll find a way around it. It'll take us 10 years. That's why I'm here. The problem is you get beat down so bad, even you and you and you and you and you. If you get beat down so bad, bad starts looking good. Not so terrible starts looking kind of all right. Well, at least Hogan's not a screaming bigot tweeter dude. At least Hogan's not an outright fascist. Maybe we should just accept it. That's your enemy. People beat down so bad that laying on the sidewalk, one step up on the stoop looks good. When they deserve to be in the penthouse. When they deserve to be on the top floor. So it's not about what we can accept, it's about what can we achieve. It's not about what can we get, it's about what do we deserve. And we deserve somebody like Ben Jones. We deserve, when they push you down this low, spring back higher. Don't just try to you get pushed down this low and then you just kind of roll over. Now at least you're on your back, not on your tummy. That's progress. That's not progress. That's redefining defeat. And you got a lot of black folk in this state, a lot of Democrats in this state that want to redefine defeat. Going along with stuff that's not going to stop these funerals, that's not going to feed these babies, that's not going to educate these children. Yeah, it's terrible. I agree with you. This speech was happy, now it's sad. I got to get out of here. But I just want you to understand the stakes in Maryland. It's very, very rare that you have a state race this important. We got Gillum running down there in Florida. You got Stacey running down there in Georgia. You got Paulette Jordan, first Native American woman with a real shot. She's in her 30s. She's got a real shot in Idaho. And you got Ben Jealous here. We could be, listen, tomorrow always comes. We're going to be in this living room, some of us, in 30, 35 days, one way or the other. And we're either going to be here having beat the odds once again and in a position to govern. What did Mandela tell the kids when he got out of prison? He said, don't just prepare to protest, prepare to govern. We got a whole bunch of young people now think all they're supposed to do is protest and tweet. And, you know, like stuff that's depressing. That's horrible. I like that. They have no idea what it means to govern. What it means to beat these people. Let them have a bad day. Let them go home with a tail between their legs. Let them attack their leaders. How'd you get us into this mess? Give them a bad day. Give them a bad day. Give these kids some hope. Give these kids somebody they can look up to in the governor's office. They knows getting up every morning and cares about them. He won't take a penny for them now. They want to buy now. I won't take a penny or nickel or dime for you because I'm coming to fight you for these children. Get out there and win something for somebody who's worth it. Somebody who's worth it. Very rare. It's usually some butthead that's got a D behind their name. We're just trying to help them. These people are real. And they'll do the right thing. Ben Jealous for governor. Thank you.
Who's feeling fired up?
Yeah!
There you go. All right. Well, we know